You're watching Hawkeye News with Katie Stanglin, Leslie Rangel, Sports with Zach Toombs, plus Lexi Belote with our crime-fighting reports, and more news coverage with our Hawkeye News Junior High team. Also, What's Up at the WC with Chris McClure. Plus, academic and student life reports with our Hawkeye News team. Hawkeye News.
Leadership you can depend on. Welcome to this edition of Hawkeye News for April 2008. I'm Leslie Rangel.
And I'm Lexi Belote. Katie's off this month.
As we approach the end of the year, there's still a lot happening around Red Oak ISD.
This month, we take a look back at April and a look at the remainder of the year.
Hawkeye News is all over the district with more news, sports, and information as we begin with this month's top stories. With only one more month of school left, our Bond Progress coverage continues. Hawkeye News reporter Catherine Martinez is back with part 9 of her ongoing series.
Catherine?
Thanks, Lexi and Leslie. This month, Mr. Shutman is back for our second-to-the-last report on the bond and how soon Red Oak ISD can expect to break ground on the new Shields Elementary School, plus an update on plans for the new Red Oak High School.
Hello, I'm here to give you the latest update on the bond program. This is the April of '08 update. And first of all, on the 1st of April, we closed on the land for the new Shields Elementary. We met with Mr. Lenahan, who is the landowner that we bought the 14 acres from, and we did it actually on site at Shields. And we had students there and staff there to present thank you cards to him for his cooperation with us and allowing us to purchase the land from him. And so the land is closed and now officially is ours, so we own that 14 acres that's north of the current Shields site. And we have also been approved, the board has approved the actual site location and how the building's going to sit on the site with roads in and out, and so we're all set to go now. Also, to give you an update on the high school, we are moving along with the high school project with the plan for the baseball fields, softball fields, tennis courts. We hope to begin, and we plan to begin that project in June actually, with the moving of dirt and beginning of the whole high school project. In fact, we have meetings planned with the City of Red Oak to coordinate what we're doing with what their requirements are, and so that'll happen in May, and we should close out that process and actually begin the moving of dirt and the new projects in June. And that's also true of Shields Elementary with the city, our coordination with the City of Glen Heights and meeting their requirements. So that'll also occur in May so that we can begin that project in June. So we are on schedule to open Shields a year from June and actually move into it with school starting in August of '09. The high school project is also on schedule. It'll be a 2-year project or so from the time we begin in this June, so June of 2010 we should finish it with move-in date and start date of August of 2010 for the school year. Last night, the board also approved $1.8 million worth of renovations in the phase 1 of all of our renovation projects. And the main projects that we have involved there are HVAC improvements, especially at the junior high. We've got about 40 or so air conditioning units that are going to be put on the roof over there to replace their oldest additions. We're also looking at secured vestibules at all of our campuses, parking improvements, and other renovation projects. So those are the main projects that have been approved last night. They will actually start next month. We're working with Core, the Core Construction to manage those projects. So we'll start in May. They will last all through the summer. And by the time we come back to start the school year in August, the '09 school year, everybody should be able to see some renovations that were done and improvements that were done on virtually every campus.
Thanks again, Mr. Shupman. We'll check back next month for my final report on Hawkeye News and the season finale of our bond progress coverage. For Hawkeye News, I'm Catherine Martinez. Back to you in the studio.
Red Oak, a two Whataburger town?
Yes, it is true. The newest local business in town is the new Whataburger, located on Highway 342 just across from the future entrance to the new Red Oak High School.
Our growing population, along with the confirmation of the new high school site, have surely added to the reasons that Whataburger has chosen to open a second location at Highway 342 between Main and Pierce Road. The Whataburger has a more modern look, with new automatic opening doors and multiple drink fountains. Another feature that sets it apart is the nice Hawk logo paintings along the fence line. In the future, a pavilion will be added for outdoor dining in the rear of the business. The I-35 location has long been one of the top production locations in the state. And even with its convenient location near the high school in the east side of the city, you can bet the new Whataburger will also be a hotspot for students and visitors to our schools now and in the future.
Another new complex that is in the same area as the new business sites and loft apartments located just to the north of the new Whataburger. One of the spots is already filled with the new Sol Luna Taqueria. If you have a hunger for some awesome flour tacos, stop in and check them out. There is also construction work being done on the Red Oak Road extension from Live Oak to I-35 overpass. The new roadways will be 4 lanes with a divided median and should be a beautiful new entry for guests to our city. A new face on a familiar place can also be found with the new updated look of our local Sonic at Ovilla Road and Methodist. The new, more modern look is very attractive and eye-catching, and the same good food can be found as well. Most of us have already visited the new Whataburger location, but if you have not, stop in for a burger or some other great fast food and tell them you heard about their new location on Hawkeye News.
Our city continues to grow, so check out all the new businesses in town and support our local businesses who support our students.
To catch us up on important dates and events from the Counselor's Office, we go to Red Oak High School to see what's new from the Counselor's Corner.
Red Oak High School is going to offer numerous opportunities for juniors and seniors to get high school credit next year. We're going to offer biology, anatomy and physiology, American history, and English. So any student who is interested in signing up for a college course that they'll take on our campus to get high school credit for, and Navarro will award college credit for, they need to fill out the application papers, turn these in so that we can get them hooked up with dual credit for next year.
Now on a lighter side, this is our Barbecue Blast Day. This is one of many fundraisers that we have here at Red Oak High School with our teachers, and this is the best. This is barbecue. Sophomore Counselor Joe Moore does our barbecue for us, and we have teachers come in, they pay $5, and all the money goes to the senior scholarship. Right now we're at about $3,500. So seniors, if you haven't filled out a scholarship, too late.
Thanks again to all our counselors and Mrs. Cleveland. Remember, if you have missed any of the dates, check out the Counselor's Corner tab on the Hawkeye News website at www.hawkeye-news.com.
The 4th annual Jerry North Fun Walk and 5K event was recently held at Red Oak Elementary. 1,222 registered participants gathered for the event. For more on this event, we go to Hawkeye News reporter Hanan Asaili. Hanan?
Thanks, Leslie and Lexi. This year's Fun Walk 5K event was held in conjunction with the Red Oak ISD Health and Information Fair. By combining the two events, the Foundation was able to provide participants with the opportunity to celebrate education in a fun way and provide them with health resources at the same time. The community, along with the students and staff of Red Oak ISD, really came together and supported the event. This is just one more reason why Red Oak ISD is the best around. The Fun Walk 5K event and Walk, Run, and Fly raffle brought in just over $14,000 with 50 businesses and individual sponsors participating. Reporting for Hawkeye News, I'm Hanan Asaili. Back to you in the studio.
In early April, Red Oak ISD held iInvent. Red Oak Junior High 8th grade students were given the task of inventing a new product. Students were required to develop an idea, then build a prototype. Projects were judged at the campus level, and the top 10 competed in the final iInvent competition, which is the name of the joint partnership with Lockheed Martin. Members of Lockheed Martin's intellectual properties team served as judges. The finalists from ROJH will go through the same process that Lockheed engineers go through when submitting a patent for an original invention. The invention convention makes the students stretch their imagination and use the scientific method to solve a problem, therefore an invention.
Nice views, awesome hotel, and that's just a piece of it. Red Oak High School webpage design and automotive students competed at the 2008 State Skills USA competitions in Corpus Christi, Texas. The team had to build a website about a camp service company called Adventure Camps USA in 4 hours and take a written test on web design. At the award ceremony in second place was our very own Hawkeye News reporter Ryan Garr. He received a silver medal and a trophy for being second best individual web designer in the state of Texas. Also, the Red Oak High School Automotive Department competed and received the following awards. In other Red Oak High School award-winning news, there were 60 high schools competing in the Dallas Morning News competition. Several students from Red Oak were winners. Only 4 entries were picked for the finals. Audrey Ward was a finalist in sports photography, and she also won feature photography. Tyler Brackeen was a finalist in photo portfolio. The school's newspaper, The Aviary, was a finalist in the best school newspaper, and Zach Toons won MVP as editor-in-chief.
We have some awesome news about the Mighty Hawk Band. The band recently returned from Winter Park, Colorado with 6 trophies and some wonderful memories. The first day there, it snowed about 6 to 7 inches. The band got snowed on again at an outdoor awards ceremony that evening where all 3 of our performing groups, 2 concert bands, and our jazz band received trophies for earning superior ratings. Red Oak wasn't finished though, not by a long shot. All 3 groups finished as a second-place runner-up band in their respective class divisions. This earned them another 3 much larger trophies to bring home to Red Oak. Over the last 3 months, the ROHS Winter Color Guard has been working on their Spring 2008 Indoor Competition show. Under the great direction of Guard instructor Mr. TJ Jordan, these girls have competed 3 times in the North Texas Color Guard Association circuit, receiving awards ranging from 2nd place to 4th place in their division. At the NTCA 2008 Championships, the Red Oak Winter Guard won 1st place champions in their division. This is only the 2nd year for Red Oak to even have a competitive Winter Guard, and this accomplishment is nothing short of amazing. Way to go, Winter Guard! Also, we are pleased to announce that all 3 performing bands at Red Oak High School did exceptionally well at this year's UIL Concert and Sight Reading Contest held in April. Concert band received 2 excellent on stage and 2 excellent in sight reading. This is our sub non-varsity band, and this was the very first time that Red Oak has ever sent a 3rd band to UIL. This is an excellent result for this group of mostly freshmen. Symphonic band received 1 superior on stage and 1 superior in sight reading. This is our 2nd band non-varsity, and these guys got straight 1s from all 6 judges at UIL, the highest scores possible. The Wind Ensemble received 1 superior on stage and 1 superior in sight reading, and they also received the highest scores possible from all 6 judges, straight 1s. Outstanding results from your Red Oak Band. Now it's time for this month's WC Report. We check back in with Chris McClure. Chris?
Thanks, ladies. All year long, I've been telling you the class of 2011 is the best class in the history of Red Oak High School. And during this school year, we've certainly started proving it. We've made some outstanding achievements both as individuals and as part of teams. Next month, for my final West Campus report, I'll tell you about some of the many accomplishments of the freshman students this year. Also in May, we'll be giving freshman students the opportunity to share what they've learned this year and to give advice to next year's freshman class. See you next month. I'm Chris McClure, Hawkeye News. Back to you, ladies.
Back for another great on-location elementary intermediate report, we welcome back reporter Roseanne Foster, joining us this month from Shields Elementary, where it looks like she has made a lot of new friends.
Roseanne?
Thanks, Leslie and Lexi. I sure have made some great friends here at Shields this morning, and these students are doing an awesome job. We have great things to share with you this month for our elementary intermediate report. But before we get started, we just wanted to allow the Shields Steel Drum Band to play a little something. Great job, guys! It's been another busy month around the elementary and intermediate, so let's get started with this month's elementary intermediate report. And speaking of the Shields Steel Drum Band, they kick it off this month with great news. Shields Elementary was honored with an invitation for the steel drum bands to perform at the Texas Music Educators Association State Convention in San Antonio on February 15th and 16th. Miss Major directed the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade alumni bands in 2 separate performances before music educators from all over the state of Texas. Among those attending the trip were 20 Shields Elementary students and 10 Red Oak Intermediate students who comprised Shields Still, as well as over 60 family members. It was a phenomenal performance. Woodin Elementary had their annual Woodin Western Carnival with games, concessions, silent auction, and a raffle. Students had a great time. Students in the 1st grade at Woodin Elementary enjoyed a field trip to the Mesquite Championship Rodeo at the Resistol Arena. Activities during the day included learning about the special clothing and equipment that a cowboy uses with the help of Rosie, the pony, and brushing and petting the animals in the Barnyard Petting Zoo. Students enjoyed eating a sack lunch in the bleachers in the arena and watching the stallions arrive for the evening rodeo. Red Oak Intermediate hosted Watchdog Donuts with Dad. The event was a huge success. Approximately 70 dads and students were in attendance. The event was held in hopes of encouraging more dads to participate in the Watchdog program on campus. Both staff and students greatly appreciate the time our watchdogs willingly give to help our students be successful and feel valued. April Starks, an engineer with Raytheon, visited Linda Peterson's class at Red Oak Intermediate to do a hands-on engineering activity with teams of advanced math students. Using only paper, straws, paper clips, tape, and lifesavers, each team had to build an eco-friendly prototype car that could roll. Then, each team had to present their finished car to their customer. Students from Red Oak Intermediate had artwork on display at the Waxahachie Fine Arts Museum. Several students received ribbons for their excellent work. Now I have a story from Ellen Stanfill, ROI writer for Hawkeye News. On March 28, members of the Red Oak Intermediate Student Council went on a field trip to the Therapeutic Riding Center at Campfire Creek. It is located at 767 Bethel Road, Waxahachie, Texas. Of course, the field trip was not all fun and games. The Student Council participated in activities such as picking up and removing logs, sticks, and other brush from the area in which the program's participants will ride. Hawkeye News salutes Campfire Creek for doing this and wishes them the best of luck when they open. That's it for this month. I'll be back in May for our final elementary intermediate report. For Hawkeye News, I'm Roseanne Foster. Back to you in the studio.
Back with more news from the junior high is our Hawkeye News anchor, Ashlyn Jones.
Welcome back, Ashlyn. Thanks, ladies. As we begin to get closer to the end of the year here, I've come to the new reality that high school is just a few months away from me. But before I give up my junior high anchor desk, I wanted to catch everyone up on 2 great stories this month from junior high in this month's Junior High in Review. Miss Katrina Knight was recently honored at the Shiro Awards ceremony in last March. Ashiro is a young woman who has achieved success in her life despite obstacles. Ashiro is a young woman who is emerging as a leader in her chosen field of employment, business, service, and or community. Ashiro is also a young woman who can attribute some of her achievement to education. Shiro honorees were recognized at a reception on March 29, 2008. Congratulations to Miss Knight. ROJH student Taylor Gerloff recently created an impressive social studies project. The subject was Wickiups, Native American housing created from all natural materials. He made his Wickiup just as the ancient Indians did, no glue, no wire. First he placed a stone in the middle, used leather for length measurement, and laid a circumference of stones where his beginning frame poles were to be placed. Taylor picked soft bendable twigs to bend the frame of his Wickiup. He connected the frame with strips of leather. He overlapped the frame with hides, leaving a hole in the top for smoke to escape. Taylor even built a fire that's similar to the way the Indians did their cooking. Taylor Gerloff worked long and hard on this project. Ms. Ernst was especially impressed with Taylor's extraordinary effort and achievement. Way to go, Taylor. That's it for this month. I'll be back next month for my last report on this year. For Hawkeye News, I'm Ashlyn Jones.
Thanks, Ashlyn.
See you next month.
Spring is in the air for sure, and with spring here, we now have a pretty clear-cut view of how our softball and baseball seasons, as well as now knowing who has moved on to regionals in track and field. For this and much more, we join our Superman of Sports, our sports anchor, Zach Toombs, in the Sports Center.
Welcome back, Zach.
Thanks, Leslie and Lexi. Although our Hawks and Lady Hawks sports are beginning to wind down with less than a month of school remaining, we still have plenty of news to bring you on our track and field, baseball, and softball teams, as well as a wrap-up of our very successful boys and girls soccer seasons. I'll also be sitting down with varsity Hawks baseball coach Heath Autry and varsity Lady Hawks coach Johnny Jones in a 5 minutes with you won't want to miss. All this and much more, but after a word from our sponsor.
This month's Hawkeye News Sports is brought to you by Danny Humphreys at State Farm,
Welcome back, Hawks and Lady Hawks sports fans. Let's talk sports. When we left off last month, our boys and girls soccer teams had both wrapped up their regular season schedules, and after picking up a few postseason victories, were preparing for the regional semifinal games, both played at Dallas Kincaid Stadium on April 1st. Hawks and Lady Hawks fans poured in by the hundreds to show their support for both teams. The ladies took the early game, facing off against the Richardson J.J. Pierce High School Lady Mustangs. The girls got off to a good start, scoring the first goal early in the game. However, that would be the ladies' final goal of the match. As the team hit an offensive dry spell, they were unable to pull out of. The Lady Mustangs tied the game with a goal of their own, and the teams remained locked in a tie for a while. But Richardson J.J. Pierce would not be held down for long, as it unleashed an explosive offense for 2 more goals. The final score, 3-1 Lady Mustangs. Despite the loss, the Lady Hawks enjoyed a very successful season, dominating district for the championship title and then beating the rival Midlothian Lady Panthers in a feat of sweet payback. Congratulations to all the members of the Lady Hawks soccer program and to Coach Norrell for a season to remember. The boys also unfortunately wrapped up their playoff run with a loss just a few hours after the ladies. In a very physical game, the Hawks faced off against the Mesquite Poteet Pirates for the regional semifinal match. Defense on both sides was stellar, and with the clock winding down in the second half, it looked as though the game would remain scoreless and enter overtime. However, the Pirates managed a controversial goal past Hawks goalie Ethan Wood on a header with less than a minute left in the game. The Hawks had little time for a comeback and took the 1-0 loss to end the season. Although their final games proved to be heartbreakers, both the Hawks and Lady Hawks soccer teams boasted outstanding seasons. When I move from the soccer field to the Diamond, where our Hawks baseball team and Lady Hawks softball team have just finished up district play. Last month, we left off with a varsity Hawk 9-12 loss against Corsicana, giving the team a record of 2-4. They then faced off against the undefeated district-leading Waxahachie Indians. Waxahachie ace pitcher Colton Kane pitched a shutout game, and the Hawks fell by the score of 8-0. However, the Hawks bounced back with an 11-1 victory against the Lancaster Tigers. The team racked up 10 hits, including triples from Colby Kissinger and JoJo Adkins, and Will Wells picked up the win on the mound. The Hawks then took a couple of tough losses against Midlothian and in a non-district game against Cedar Hill. The team played a close game against Arlington Seguin, but suffered a loss by a single run, 4-3. The team played their final home game against the Ennis Lions on senior night. Lack of offense resulted in a 4-1 loss for the Hawks. Varsity played their final game of the season at Corsicana, and we'll have more on that in our May episode. As for softball, the Lady Hawks have become yet another Red Oak playoff team as they snatched the title of co-district champions with Midlothian and Waxahachie. At the end of last month's show, the girls held a record of 5-1. The girls suffered a shocking loss against Waxahachie Lady Indians 12-2, and what was their worst defeat of the season. However, the Lady Hawks grabbed a solid victory with a 15-0 win against Lancaster. The Lady Hawks didn't fare quite as well against the district-leading Midlothian Lady Panthers, failing to rack up some offense and taking a 3-0 loss. But, due to some great pitching, the ladies won a key game against Arlington Seguin 3-1. In the hunt for the playoffs, the ladies picked up another win against Ennis by the close score of 8-7. With one game left, the ladies needed one last victory against Corsicana to lock the district co-championship. They delivered it in grand fashion, stopping the Lady Tigers 13-0. The district ended in a 3-way tie between the Lady Hawks, Waxahachie, and Midlothian, all with a 9-3 record. However, the teams had then to be seeded. Waxahachie won a coin flip for the first seat, and we'll update you on the game between Midlothian and the Lady Hawks that will decide the second seat in our May episode. Next up is our Hawks and Lady Hawks track and field athletes who recently competed in their district meets. Michael Carter placed first in the shot put with a throw of 61 feet and 1 inch, and second in discus with a throw of 170 feet and 4 inches. Corin Pace placed first in the discus with a throw of 190 feet and 3 inches, while Preston Sanders placed second in the shot put with a throw of 57 feet and 7 inches, and third in discus with 164 feet and 8 inches. On the track, Victor Cooper finished second in the 800-meter run with a time of 1 minute and 59 seconds, and Jeremy Thibodeau took third in the 400-meter dash with a 50-second .53 finish. Chris Otto placed 6th in the 200-meter dash with a time of 22.57 seconds. The 4x200-meter relay team, made up of LaRoderick Little, Seth Rushing, Ishmael Harrison, and Chris Otto, finished third with a time of 1 minute 31.54 seconds. And the 4x400-meter relay team, consisting of Jeremy Thibodeau, Ishmael Harrison, Victor Cooper, and Chris Otto, placed second with 3 minutes and 24.43 seconds. Other top finishers were Corin Pace at 4th in the shot put, Jeremy Thibodeau at 4th in the high jump, and Taylor McCullough at 5th in the 300 hurdle and 6th in the 110 hurdle. This weekend's field event MVP was Preston Sanders for his personal best finishes, regional qualifying marks in the shot and discus. The running MVPs were Victor Cooper for his amazing kick in the 800-meter dash and the entire 4x400-meter relay team for their second place finish. The regional qualifiers will be competing in Denton on the 25th and 26th of April, and we hope to give you more good news on that in our May episode. The junior varsity team also had some members place. Jordan Stanford finished 2nd in the triple jump and 7th in the long jump. Joseph Slaughter took 3rd in the 100-meter dash. Alex McGraw leapt into 5th in the pole vault. Casey Hawkins placed an outstanding 1st in discus and 3rd in the shot put. Sergio Munoz sprinted to 2nd the 800-meter run. Zach Lozano placed 3rd in the 3,200-meter run and 5th in the 1,600-meter run. And Carlos Pineda finished 8th in discus. The 4x100-meter relay team, made up of Stanford, Wade, Day, and Slaughter, placed 4th. The 4x200-meter relay team, consisting of Curry, Wade, Day, and McGraw, finished 5th. And the 4x400 team, made up of Stanford, McGraw, Randy, EJ, and Slaughter, picked up 3rd place. Congratulations to our boys track and field athletes for some great finishes. We hope to bring more good news of their regional meet in our next episode. But for now, move on to the girls, who also recently competed in their district meet. The varsity girls 4x100-meter relay team, made up of Tiana Burks, Brittany Solomon, Kanisha Skinner, and Brianna Burks, placed 3rd. Meanwhile, the 4x400 team of Paige McMillan, Tiana Burks, Kanisha Skinner, and Brianna Burks placed 6th. In the 100-meter dash, Brittany Solomon gained a personal best with a second-place finish of 11.38 seconds, and Kanisha Skinner did the same with a third-place finish in the 200-meter dash. Kiki Roberts placed 6th in discus, and Kanisha Skinner gained another third-place finish with a personal best in the long jump. Emily Schuster also pole vaulted her way to a 4th-place finish. On the junior varsity squad, Morgan Watts placed 1st, and Emily Tier finished 4th in the high jump, and Rebecca Furstenfeld placed 2nd in the pole vault. Congrats to our regional qualifying track and field girls. Once again, we'll be back next month to give you the latest on the regional finishes. Each episode, I've sat down with an important Red Oak athlete or coach in our monthly segment, 5 Minutes With. This month, I got the chance to interview not only Red Oak's head varsity baseball coach, Heath Autry, but also head girls softball coach, Johnny Jones. Thank you for joining me today, Coach Autry, Coach Jones. Thank you. Coach Autry, we have one of the youngest varsity teams we've had in a long time. What kind of advantages and disadvantages does that put us at this year and for next year?
I think the main advantage is that we have a young group of kids that are getting just thrown in the fire and having to learn what it's like to be a varsity baseball player really quick. The disadvantages obviously are we're competing against a lot of seniors and juniors and of other team on other teams in our district, and we're kind of taking our lumps this year.
All right. Well, Coach Jones, you've also had a fairly young team this year. How would you answer the same question pertaining to the Lady Hawks?
I think some of the advantages, of course, leads well for the future. You know, going into that new district, I think there's going to be a lot of positives going in there. Disadvantage of playing on varsity when you don't have the experiences, you can see it in their faces. There's a lot of pressure to be on varsity. A lot of kids want to be on varsity, but they don't realize the pressure that's there every game. And I think that's the major disadvantage.
All right. Coach Autry, this is your second year as coach here in Red Oak. What challenges did the team face this year that they didn't have to face last year?
Well, this year we only really had 2 seniors on the team. One Richie Lynch was hurt this year, so really Kyle Yarborough was our lone senior. And we played 4 sophomores, 3 juniors, and 2 freshmen mainly were in our starting lineup. That's the main difference, is lack of that senior leadership and the number of kids that had varsity experience. We returned 2 kids with varsity experience this year, and that's been the drastic change from last year.
All right. Coach Jones, I know you teach and preach teamwork. Who have been a few of your players this year who've really stepped up into leadership roles for the team?
Seniors done a great job. April Sharpless, without a doubt, could be interior infield on any team, including this one. We needed to bolster our outfield, we thought. She stepped up. She's one of the most unselfish people I've ever coached. Leah Martinek stepped up in the leadership role. Taylor Van Hove, although she hadn't played in a couple years combined, she's a very good varsity catcher, hits in our 4-hole spot, and she is a leader on and off the field.
All right. I know you two have recently been looking at plans for the new baseball and softball fields. Can you all tell us a little bit about it?
Go ahead, Jonesy.
I think, of course, we've been told it's going to happen next year, which is a good thing. I think both baseball and softball here at Red Oak, as far as facilities, have always been kind of subpar. So this is a chance for our kids to play at a 4A facility in a 4A district, and that's got to be exciting for both of us.
We're really looking forward to moving to our new facility. Like Coach Jones said, it's about time that our kids get to experience playing on a playing surface that is up to par, up to 2008 standards. Our kids are really excited about it. We've seen the plans. The facility's going to be, unbelievable, and I think it'll raise the level of play that our kids bring to the table.
All right, a question for both of you. What do fans have to look forward to for next season?
Okay, for us, we're going to a new district. Forney and Mesquite Poteet are very good. However, I think the experience that we have now, district co-championship playoff pitcher, I think without a doubt that we will not just compete for one of those spots. I think playoffs is definitely in the role for next year.
As far as baseball goes, I think the fans have a lot to look forward to. The team's going to be way more experienced, more polished, and I think a lot of the sophomores will assume leadership roles when they go into their junior year, as well as obviously the new facilities and the new district. Like Coach Jones said, Poteet and Forney are really good in baseball as well as in softball, and so I think it'll bring a lot of I think change is good as far as the district goes. A lot of new excitement and something to look forward to.
All right. Thank you for meeting with me, Coach Autry, Coach Jones. Appreciate your time.
Good luck to you.
That's it for sports. Next month, join us next time for our Hawkeye News season finale and a wrap-up on all the sports action. Until then, I'm Zach Toombs. Back to you ladies in the studio.
Our Hawkeye News team recently got to meet many of our viewers from the elementary schools in our annual Hawkeye News tours.
Many of the news team members enjoyed visiting with students across the district.
The visits included our team members answering questions from the students on what it takes to be a member of the Hawkeye News team, as well as hearing what the slogan, "Leadership You Can Depend On," really means. For more video clips and information, visit the Hawkeye News Tour Zone at www.hawkeye-news.com.
Well, that about does it for this month. We thank all our viewers for watching and for all the teachers and administrators who allow us into your classrooms each month.
Join us next month for the final edition of Hawkeye News for the class of 2008. Many of our cast will say farewell, and we will look at the second half bloopers, blunders, and outtakes.
We also want to remind you that we would really love to hear from you. So if you have any news ideas, comments, or suggestions, you can write us at hawkeyenews@redokeisd.org or give us a call at 469-437-6837. And don't forget to check us out 24/7 at www.hawkeye-news.com if you missed any of our reports or need more information on the Hawkeye News team. I'm Leslie Rangel.
And I'm Lexi Below. Until next time, thanks for watching.
And make it a great day.